Good evening, everybody. Thanks so much for jumping on this call live or watching the recording. Tonight, I'm going to talk to you about forming, which is how to start conversations with people. And then I'm going to talk to you about inviting, which is actually inviting them to join a challenge group, join your team, join your 5-day free group, whatever it might be that you got going on. So in a moment, I'm going to share my screen with you and we'll get going. I'll have you for maybe the next 10 minutes, 12 minutes or so. And I hope you really get a lot out of this video. So one moment, I'm going to figure out how to share my screen. Okay, great. It looks like you can see my screen. So tonight, I do have on the slide that it's a 4-part training series, but tonight we're only going to go through parts 1 and 2, which is forming and inviting. So I'm going to talk tonight about using scripts in your business. And there's many arguments against using scripts. People don't like to actually sound scripted, but scripts are really here to help you understand what to say. I mean, the concept behind speaking to prospects and building relationships. So while it might not sound like something you would say, that's kind of the point because, what you would normally say to someone doesn't work that well, but these scripts work amazing. And you can always customize them just a little bit to sound more like you, but always stick to the main, the guts of the script. So it's not for you to be doing the selling. It's for use to you to be talking, interviewing, and sorting through serious and not serious prospects for things like your challenge groups and joining your coaching team. When in doubt, keep it simple, sweetie. Don't overthink the conversation. So where do you start when you are on Facebook looking for people to talk to? Now, this might be people that you went to high school with, but you haven't talked to in 5 to 10 years, or people that you just don't know very well. Maybe it's you're married and it's your husband's best friend's wife or something like that. Somebody that you kind of know but don't know very well. Some great icebreakers are to say things just like, "Hey Jill, you crossed my mind the other day and I wanted to get back in touch. How's it going?" "Hey Jill, I see we have some mutual friends. It's great to meet you. Where are you from?" I use that one all the time and it works great. "Hey Jill, I see you just got back from a family vacation. How was your trip?" So using something like the last one, "I see you just got back from a family vacation," you can use that for anything. If you want to start talking to someone, look through their page. Maybe they just had a baby. Maybe they just went on vacation. Maybe they just got a new vehicle, bought a house. Something happened in their life that you can comment on, and it's a great way to start a conversation. So once you're in the conversation, a great way to carry the conversation on and get it nice and fresh so it's not a dead conversation, you don't have to feel like you're pulling teeth to get answers, is to form them. Get to know them and build trust. By forming, you will discover their needs, strengths, and goals during your initial contact. If you're not face to face with them, take notes and refer back to what they talk about when you're following up. So FORM stands for F, family, O, occupation, R, recreation, and M, message. And I'll get into a little bit deeper about what those mean on the next slide. But you'll notice that M, your message, is last. And the reason for your initial contact is not about you. It's about them. So you're letting them talk. You're not talking very much except to keep initiating questions. Your income, and this is so true, is a direct reflection on the number of people you help, not how many people that you push your agenda on. So always keep that in mind. To be sincere when you're asking these questions, don't ask someone if you don't care. That's all there is to it. If you really want to get to know people and really help them, your income will increase. It's just the way it is. Secondly, use an invite and follow-up system, things like a personal call, thank you notes, emails, texting, and track your prospects, who you talked to and what you talked about, and what you're doing so you know what works and what doesn't. Is Facebook not working for you at all, but when you call people, it works awesome? Then call them. Realize that leaders continue to do the key activities that duplicate their earnings. Sponsors, people sponsor coaches, and they teach their downline to do the same thing that we're doing, okay? Forming and inviting. So leaders who are massively successful, just realize that they're doing this over and over and over. They're not doing something glamorous and exciting that you're missing out on. They're simply doing this a lot. So discipline yourself. Read Danny Johnson's script books and Eric Worre's book, GoPro. If you're serious about helping people through your business, you have to own the 2 script books and Eric Worre's GoPro. I'm not saying that's the only way you can be successful, but it helps so much. I really recommend it. So form, as I said, F stands for family. Ask questions about, are you married? Do you have kids? Do you have grandkids? What's your husband do? What activities are your kids in? Any questions you can think of about family. And maybe you want to make your own list so you have those questions ready. O stands for occupation. What do you do for a living? How do you like that? Oh, you like it? What's your favorite thing about your job? How long have you been doing it? Ask everything about their occupation, which sometimes leads you to a really good clue that they don't like what they do at all. So maybe that's where we can talk about Beachbody being a plan B for them. Or they love what they do, and why do they love it? They love helping people succeed. Another great entry into how Beachbody can enrich their lives because all they're doing is helping people succeed. R stands for recreation. So what do you do for fun? I see you just got back from vacation. Where did you go? Do you travel a lot? What are your hobbies and why do you like that? How long have you been doing that? M is message. And your message is going to be how Shakeology, the workouts, or our business opportunity can bring enrichment into those areas. So if they talk about they wish they could travel more, they wish they didn't have to work so much, they wish they could find a different job because they're just so unrewarding. That's where you're going to insert your message. And I'll show you exactly how to do that in the next few slides. But remember when you're forming that it's about them, it's not about you. So you're not asking about their family and then cutting in and commenting on your own. You really have to be not selfish at all and just want to listen, listen, listen. And if they ask you questions, certainly answer them, but get right back on track with asking them questions and getting to know them. 4 quick tips to using scripts. Number 1 is to role play. Practice the scripts with your sponsor coach, with your husband, with your friends, or with other coaches. Many people have had success by simply asking a friend if they could practice a new script on them that they were learning. I did this with one of my best friends when I first started, and the friend ended up saying, "Hey, that sounds interesting. Like, what do you do?" And then they wanted to know about it, and all I said I was doing was practicing on them. So it worked out great. Secondly, talk to as many people a week as possible. In the beginning, you have to make up for your lack of skill with more numbers. So the more you practice, the better you'll get. Follow the plan. Set a goal of how many people you want to talk to per day and stay consistent with that number. Now, if you know that you don't have time to talk to 10 people a day, then don't make that your goal. Make it 3 or 5. And if you are consistent with those numbers, your business will grow and you will get better at using these scripts and they'll sound much more natural. Third tip, use third-party tools to present the details. Things like fitness programs, Shakeologies, the coaching business by using a business webinar, whether it's live or recorded. Videos from your video library or YouTube. Use 3-way calls with your sponsor. Whenever any of my prospects ask me about, hey, what's this program about? I always send them a YouTube video about the workout. Beachbody has a video on YouTube for each of their workouts, and they're all between 1 and 4 minutes long. They're so fast, and they get right to the point of what the workout's about, rather than me trying to explain in text how awesome Insanity is, or T25, or how amazing PiYo is. I just send them that quick video, and it works so well. Number 4, social media. Remember that as we're going through these scripts, to not send the entire script in one message. Your main objective is to schedule a phone appointment with your sponsor coach before sending the information. So you're not going to type out the whole entire script. You're going to go back and forth in these messages and eventually try to get them on the phone. So now now that we've covered forming, if you have any questions about that, be sure to post them in the comments below. But we're going to move on to how to actually invite. So once you're done forming and you're ready to insert your message, you're going to invite. And step 1 in the invite process is to validate and communicate. This will make the prospect much more agreeable about hearing what you have to say, and it'll really open the lines of communication. So if while you're forming and you're taking notes, Jill says, I don't have a lot of extra time because I work like 50 hours a week and all 3 kids are in sports, so we're super busy with that. And our budget is tight too. It just seems like added stress to make time and to be able to afford it. Okay, sound familiar? I hear comments like that all the time. So you say, Jill, I totally understand. And we're going to use a technique called Feel, Felt, Found that you'll read about in Eric Worre's Go Pro. I totally understand, Jill. You're probably completely satisfied with what you're doing now. But I couldn't help but notice that you mentioned that you were very, very busy and you don't have a lot of extra time because you work a lot and your budget is pretty tight. I may have something for you that could help you. I can get you some information and we can go from there. And if it's for you, great. And if not, that's cool too. Would you be willing to check it out? So you're validating how she's feeling by saying that you understand. But then you're offering her a solution without telling her what it is, without going into too much detail and scaring her away, and just saying, would you be willing to check it out? If not, that's fine. Okay, that is a great way to validate and communicate. So step 2, you're going to say, if I, would you? Now, if this person is asking about a workout, you'd say, if I sent you a video on the 21-day fix that's 4 minutes long, would you watch it? If I sent you a DVD, would you watch it? If I sent you a link to a website with a presentation, would you check it out? If I invited you to a special invite-only conference call, would you listen in? No matter what you're sending them, if I insert what you want to do, would you listen, call in, check it out, watch it? Step 2 is very important. It's a great way to ask people to do things so they're making the decision themselves as opposed to you saying, here, watch this video, I'm sending it over. No, you are making them commit to saying, yes, you asked me if I would watch it, and I'm saying, yes, I will. Step 3 is to set the appointment. Now, you have to set the appointment before you send the information. And step 3 is, I said step 2 is critical. Step 3 is very, very critical. Set the appointment once they say that they have given you the commitment that they will indeed watch, listen, or check out what you're sending over. Don't suggest a time for them. Just ask the question, when is the best time to follow up with you? And wait for a response. So it makes them think about their schedule. It makes them think about their time commitments. And they will, then that they're free because you're not telling them Friday at noon, I'm going to call you because they might have an appointment. So you just ask, when do you think you'll be able to watch it for sure? If I sent you a 4-minute video on PIO, would you watch it? Sure, I'll check it out. When would you be able to watch it for sure? That is the order that you're going through. Step 4 is to confirm the time. So if they tell you that they'll watch that video by Tuesday night, your response should be, so if I called you Wednesday morning at 10 a.m., would you have watched it for sure? Or if it's a live webinar, so if I called you Monday night at 9 p.m., you'll have seen it for sure, right? Again, you are making them commit and confirm without being pushy because you haven't told them what to do yet. They are deciding these things for themselves. And step 5 is to finally book the appointment. What's the best number to reach you at? Wait for the response. Awesome, thank you. Here is the video, the link, the presentation. I'll talk to you then. Okay, it doesn't need to have a lot of explanation points, not a lot of smiley faces. It needs to be cut and dry. Okay, so if you follow this 5-step easy process, you will definitely book some appointments. And remember when you're booking the appointments that your sponsor coach will for sure get on the line with you with these people, at least for the first couple, to show you how to then follow up, which is what Megan will talk about in a week or two or whenever she gets online for part 2 of this. So I hope that you learned a lot about forming and inviting. And like I said at the beginning, if you have any questions at all, post them in the comments. But if I was you, I would start using form everywhere you go. Whether or not it leads to inviting someone, just practice. Practice on your husband tonight when he gets home from work. You would be surprised how much you don't really dig in deep with family members anymore because you get so used to them being around. So start by forming them. All right. Thank you so much, you guys. I'll talk to you soon. And I hope you, like I said, learned a lot from the presentation.